Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you. First order of business is approval of minutes from October 14th and October 27th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right,
I've got one change to the first
let
one.
me get a second first.
Okay, so,
All right, discussion.
okay, I wasn't at the first meeting.
Oh,
But it says I was,
Okay.
Oh,
Thanks. Just
just remove my name or not there or whatever.
you got it.
Thank
All
you.
right, do we want to take them in two separate batches then, or are we okay with just noting it's abstaining?
That was the only thing I
I
saw.
wrote them
Yeah.
Okay, any other changes, questions, concerns on the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry, we have Jamie online. Do we have you, Jamie? Not yet, okay, when she comes, yeah, that's other. Welcome to everybody here from the public. Glad you're here with us. Does anybody want to make a comment under public comment? Because you're here. Seeing none. We'll open later if somebody else shows up. For our administrative reports, did anybody have any questions or concerns on any of those that they'd like to bring up at the moment? Did anybody want to make any comments or reports on the reports you submitted to us? Seeing none, we'll continue to move right along. All right, can I have a motion to accept the personnel report?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or concerns on that?
She asked you, sorry.
Did you want to go back and?
Yes, I do want to go back, sorry. Back read administrative reports, I'm just thinking the leadership team. Okay, so.
Can we finish that one? Can we finish that first?
Sure, does anybody have any questions or concerns on the personnel report?
No, I had one question, but I got it myself and the answer to it. So,
All right,
I don't know. Did you want to explain the one situation or not?
I don't know if I can right now.
Oh, so maybe, okay,
Yeah,
okay. It's not bad. I mean, I don't think it's bad, but
you just have something you want to know?
I happened to have gotten a tour last week, so I had an advance situation that I knew about, and I see it's fixed here, so.
All right, fantastic.
So,
All in favor?
I-
Any opposed? Do you want to say anything about it?
I would do it in a non-public, but I don't think that I should speak about it in public right now.
We can have that later on then. Okay, passes.
All right, so I did want to point out that the final adequacy numbers for this year came out, and we did our adequacy did drop by about 400 grand. And that's reflected into our financials, but of course that was built into the assessed value to the town, so.
So we are looking at an increase.
So our adequacy went down and the assessments from the town went up to compensate for that. So it was offset by what was assessed towns. That's what happens there. What I really wanted to, I have a budget transfer request that I have proposed. And that's to shift some positions from function 1210, which is our related services, and we found a few more positions. As you know, I've been doing some cleanup. Every year I find something new, and I found like a psych position, I think a speech position, an OT position, and then we had some contracted services for physical therapy that we wanted to record those in the correct functions. So I have a budget transfer request that I'm asking to shift those positions into the correct functions.
Do you want a motion
Sure.
on that? No dollar change, it's just simply moving.
Yeah, it's moving. So the related services for physical therapy is moving 80,000 from one function to the physical therapy function. So that was just kind of baked into our contracted services. So we wanted to specifically identify that as a physical therapy. All of the others, it's the same position. It's the individual with all of the costs shifting from function 1210 to the appropriate functions.
Does anybody have any questions?
So the money's there, it's just under a different category.
Yeah, I just need it in the right
Specified,
budget.
right, okay,
Yeah.
rather than-
So the impact on the
Makes
tax,
sense.
that's what you're waiting on. Because we hadn't gotten it yet in Walpole, but apparently that's that one item now that you have gotten from the state. As far as adequacy is gonna be able to let you give that figure to the towns.
No, I've provided everything that's needed for the towns to set their tax rates. Walpole is not waiting on me for anything.
Because what I heard was that it was an estimated impact on tax rate. Do they have that?
Not from me, maybe from the DRA. I mean, Charlestown set their rate, Ackworth has set their rate, Langdon has set their
Mhm.
rate. Elston and
Okay.
Walpole have not, but all of my information was submitted a while ago.
Okay,
So there's nothing from me that's holding up any tax rate. So,
okay, all right, thank you then.
okay. I shouldn't make that personal. There's nothing from the school district that's holding up the tax rates that
Okay.
they process.
That was the one question I got from that. I'll go back to find out what they were talking about.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was peculiar that they hadn't said it yet, but
Okay,
they have not. Charlestown has.
okay, all right.
And I say that because that's the other larger community.
Yeah, you got everything.
Yeah.
You're all set.
Yeah.
You're ahead of the game.
I know, I didn't even hear from Patty this year.
I can have her email you
Oh,
if you
please.
miss her.
So, okay, go ahead.
So some of these are going from like method 1 to method 6.
There's one that is,
And some of these are coming out of CMS, CPS, and I'm not sure where
so
they're
method 1 to
going.
method 6, wait. I don't see anything going from method 1 to method 6.
Uh,
What I do have,
Health services relate to the first two lines. The second and third lines go from say M1. And then they're on down further under as M6.
are we looking at the same?
Yes, we are, and I'll point them out to you.
Please.
It says right here method 1, and it says right there.
So,
method 6.
okay, so that's a mistitle in the account name. You can see that the account code is from 1210 211 So it's going from a method 6 to a method 6.
Okay.
So I will,
The
I
line,
will need to check fix that. However, so there is, we had a speech person who was, split between CMS and CPS, but that wasn't really appropriate, so it should be in method 6, so we're transferring it from Charlestown to method 6, is what I'm asking for.
And that was done before tax rates were set.
No, I found this today. It was not done before tax rates were set.
Okay.
But it would be adjusted. But it's for let's see, for the budget for this year, so it would be adjusted. Let's see. The actuals will be adjusted at the end of the year for annual reporting at the end of the year.
Okay. Charlestown is getting all their money back, right? That's one of the.
They
They will get.
No, we would only get 46% back. Or ish. That's what happened when we gave 100,000 and we didn't get the full 100,000 back.
so what's gonna happen this year is we're paying 100% of that line, that's what we're doing taxed on. But the district is getting the benefit, so we're only getting 45% of the benefit in terms of.
We really can't do this twice. So Charlestown paid 100,000 before. And then we never spent that money and it was returned at 46%. So then we spent 100,000 and it was, even though we paid the full amount,
Mhm.
the other towns benefited from that return, right?
So is that,
And now you're asking,
okay, I just was trying to place it, so,
Yeah.
okay.
so now the district is asking once again
Mhm.
that Charlestown pay 100% of something. And even though it's gonna get adjusted, it's not really getting adjusted fairly because we're not gonna get it back 100%.
Mhm.
If you can ensure that we're gonna get it back 100%, then I would vote for it, but my understanding is people can't assure that.
I don't know how I could ensure that, but, so the speech services should all be in method 6 because they're district-wide services and people will move around. And trying to make that correction now, so I mean,
Guys,
45% is better than none.
Well, I do have, yeah, go ahead.
so I do just wanna assure everybody that Charleston is getting a full-time speech and language pathologist this year. So even though that's coming out of Charlestown and it should be in method 6, they do have one full-time speech and language pathologist for Charlestown only. And a full-time speech and language assistant for Charlestown. So this may come out in the wash, to be honest, but it should be under method 6, even though that's how we assigned it this year. So I just want to be assured that you are getting that level of services.
And I appreciate that clarification, I really do. My question is. Will the voters ever hear it? The explanation,
Mhm.
do you know what I mean? And that's
So,
some of this stuff that we always hear about.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not that I ever think that anything is funky is going on.
Why not?
But when people see maneuvers like this
Mhm.
and then they hear Charlestown's paying 100%, but they're only gonna get it back 46%. They don't always get your explanation of it, right?
Yeah.
So,
I guess I'm a little confused. If we have a speech and language pathologist, if we have people that we're paying, why is Charleston gonna get anything back? Are we using the money? Because what's the money that's going back, I guess is my question. Does that make sense?
It does, because it doesn't necessarily guarantee that there's gonna be anything at the end of the budget to
Right.
send back, but. It's a matter of what Charlestown should be taxed for based on our. That is an apportionment,
Right.
really, it, like, we're this year, we're paying 100% of that person's salary. Whereas the way our methods are set up, we should be paying 46%,
Right,
however.
which is why, yeah,
That all
she's
works
fixing it for next year.
Right,
So-
but Charleston is still gonna be paying that extra 4% this year, right now.
Right, but is there a way of switching it right now?
The tax rate's been set, there isn't.
Yeah,
I mean, ideally, I would have an opportunity to sit down and go through the thousands of lines and catch everything at once,
Right.
and that just. Hasn't happened.
Are there any other lines that are looking to move between methods or between buildings?
It's this one position that's
Just that one,
between,
this,
yeah,
okay, so in the. I hate to say it, but in the grand scheme, good catch. And we will continue to make those changes as they show up.
I'm trying to catch them during budget process,
it's
but
better,
it doesn't
it's
happen.
better to be caught than not caught.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
How's that?
Okay.
So I don't wanna make,
Okay.
I'm certainly not trying to make you feel bad. It's the system,
Right,
it's not
it is the
necessarily.
system, and I do understand that, but I understand the plight and I, feel,
it's like.
responsible that I didn't catch it sooner, so.
but thank you for owning it and bringing it up, I mean,
Mhm.
we know that's not easy for any human to do, so. We'll just. Keep making it clearer,
Try.
a lot clearer than it was many years
That's,
ago.
and that's what I'm trying to get all of this, all of the like kind services in the same function, so they're readily identifiable. Because that has been the bane of my existence. Well, one of them, I guess. All related to methods. Okay. So I guess.
So if you'd like a motion on that. I have
Could we at least ask for the next meeting to have, what is the impact? I'd like to know the exact number that Charlestown's being overcharged. Even if they get money back at the end of the day, I wanna know, I'd like to know a number.
for this particular line.
Yeah, it's about $30,000, but
Mhm.
how much are they being overcharged for that? And if we could find any way to move something around to make it equal out. So that's not. They're not being, let that happen again. I feel terrible because this happened again. So
Well,
I'd like to
one
know-
big happy family and there's give and take.
Yeah, there is, but I think,
Well, at least this year they're getting a service where before they got nothing and then they got, you know.
I think the other situation was slightly different. So the other 100,000 was definitely different than this scenario. Especially with this scenario, you can hear Zandra's explanation. So it's not as if we're giving 100,000 and we're not getting anything.
Anything, yeah.
We are getting, I think, top-notch services from her department. And they're being provided, so it's not like we're not getting anything for our buck.
Mhm.
But, so I do wanna make sure that we're clear on that.
Yeah, and
because-
I'm not familiar with the other situation because I think that predated me, so at some point it might.
It was just a very clear
useful.
example of some of the issues we have. Gladly sit down and have that
Yeah,
conversation.
no, I mean, I would like to, just so I can, that was a red flag to avoid.
Yeah.
Two different issues.
Okay.
really.
But I can continue to look and see if there's anything that I could do to, help offset this. I mean, because, as far as knowing exactly what they're being overcharged, that wouldn't be determined until the end of the year. When we know what if monies are going back to reduce taxes.
We could know what the
We
difference
could
between what the
estimate.
Charlestown budget was after you move it and what the Method 6 budget is.
Oh, no, okay, but that's, okay. The dollar amount now, I can look that up and tell you the full grant tonight.
I have a stupid question. What is, I'm sure that I should know this, but it says 2 DR from CR. What is DR and CR? I'm sorry.
Where are,
Debiting.
debit and credit, sorry.
Okay. I was like, I should know this. Yeah, it's like, I was just trying to balance my checkbook for my business, so my brain's a little fried.
So many numbers. All right, are there any other questions for Lauren on that, or anything else you want to tell us about this list, Lauren?
No. Not this list.
All right, then may I have a motion to amend the budget line for Lori's list?
I thought we were gonna wait till the figure. Sure,
You want a
second, I'll
figure?
second, and we can do a discussion.
So I'm first one.
We have a first, do we have a second? Do we need to wait until we have the figure, because it's where it needs to be right now, it's accurate right now?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I was trying to honor what Kevin, the information that Kevin was looking for.
I still think we need the information. But I don't know as though, for me, it changes once we have the information, just needs to be
Yeah,
correct.
the bottom line's not changing. It's just internal, shouldn't it?
Right, so bottom line of the budget doesn't change, but
So the dollar amount is $30,197.30. Is what is moved from Charlestown to Method 6. 30,197.40.
so we do have precedents like last year, or was it 2 years ago, when there was discovered to be a duplicate in another towns. We made some adjustments for things later on in the year to account for that. So if we keep this in mind, look at some of those things, and there's extras, we can say, you know what, let's make Charlestown whole in this regards.
45%. 30,000 is 13,500. Is that what they're?
So my guess, what is the cost of the whole position?
The entire position is 30,197.
So that's not so different.
So that is the position that's being moved from one budget to another. She's also partly funded through grants, I believe, 50%. So this is the portion that's in the general fund and was previously assigned to Charlestown.
don't know how to unwrap it, so I'm really having a hard time voting yes for this, because I don't know how to unwrap it, because I really wanna make Charlestown whole, the lots.
So,
I don't know how to-
so we would need to be looking at the 30,000 during the course of the year, and then if there's funds at the end of the year that go back, they would come back, according to your ADM, right, it gets allocated if there's monies that come back. But I mean, so I think that right now, I mean, we would need to focus on making them whole for the 30,000, because then the method 6 is charged out separately.
For the future.
Right.
So let me see if I can, so if we're working with a $30,000 amount, it's currently being charged to Charlestown. Charlestown's tax rate's been set. We're gonna pay that 30,000. Move to method 6. Charlestown, instead of paying 100% of that, should only be paying 46%. That's about what we pay for method 6. So the difference between, 46 and what'd you say, so 17,000?
So about 16,000.
So Charlestown's been overcharged by 16,000. So we can't change what's in the budget right now. We can't change the tax rates. It is what it is. Charlestown's gonna pay that 16,000 regardless. But in the course of the year, if there's something that comes up that Charlestown needs, we can always, when we know at the end of the year what we have for surplus, what we're looking at, that might be returned, we can make some adjustments, make a purchase. If I'm understanding this properly, in order to give Charlestown that $16,000 in a different way.
So could we move? Is there a way to move like $16,000 out of method 6 into some other category for Charleston? That would make them whole.
It is, so what we're trying to achieve is to put expenses into the correct buckets. So if I take it out of,
Completely get that. I'm trying to make Charlestown whole.
right,
At the
but
end of
But
the end of this.
I think at the end of the year, there's probably gonna be a way to do that.
or during the course of the year, I,
If you move something now, then it's gonna just be in the wrong spot next year, and you'll have to move it again, and then
yeah.
it's just gonna, and it's gonna be the same problem, it's gonna keep. It's gonna keep, I think, to kick down the road.
I think if Lori. Maybe with Alyssa on the email sends Jesse and Corey an email that says, hey, FYI. There might be around 10,000 in the budget. If you need something, just keep that in the back of your mind. Something along those lines. I mean, you don't want to sit there and be like,
Please figure out something to do with it. We are still needs-based. We still need to be responsible to the bottom line. But if there's one of those things,
So can the minutes reflect this, so they don't get lost? Because my fear is we're gonna vote yes on this, and then it'll be gone. I know we'll got.
thank you.
Don't forget what even if you're the board.
I don't think Lori's gonna forget.
I just.
I think if we do it in the minutes and she sends an email with a flagging Alyssa on it. Then one or the other will remember, and I'm pretty sure Jesse and Corey will remember an email that says. $10,000, maybe around 10 to 16.
Yeah, it would definitely be later in the year. Like,
It would be after we know what might be left over and
Yes,
looking to.
yes, then I can say that, like,
Why?
okay, you have first preference to spend X number instead of sending it back.
Oh,
We
yeah,
need a new state,
Oh,
and that's why
yeah,
I see Bill,
yeah.
let's do
Or
something.
camera.
yes.
And I'm sure
Buy
there's
stuff to some,
Yeah, yeah.
that would work, oh, that would work,
so.
Yeah.
I just agree with Kevin, we need to put it out there so it doesn't get lost.
and we also need to make sure that the voters know that we're doing that, so that
Mhm.
they know that we're aware of it, and that we're gonna do something about it. Because if we don't take care of it, I commend you for trying to do this, because if we don't just do it, get stuff where it's supposed to be, it's never gonna move, so.
We got it.
But we also.
Work through it. All right, so I move the question or the whatever.
Okay, so we have a first and a second. Does anybody have any more questions, concerns about this? All we are doing at this moment is changing budget lines to reflect their appropriate category.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
What you do is what-
Motion passes. Thank you.
Okay. So this is what I really wanted to get to. Um, so I provided an update in, the folder, and I just wanted to make sure that we didn't lose sight of this. And, the first item is that the, high school paving project, they are to the point where they have some, conceptual drawings, and I did reach out and ask if he would be available to meet with a committee or the full board. I don't know what your pleasure would be to review those drawings. So I just haven't heard back from him yet, so.
Okay. Which we had talked about in the initial things that they would be available.
Right, yeah. So I don't know if it's the subcommittee that you want to meet, or do you want them to come back to the full board? And if the full board, do we want to try to do it the next meeting or first meeting in December or?
Well, we're doing a joint meeting on the 24th for budget, so I don't want to add anything else to that. We
Okay.
have plenty on our plate. So let's look at the first weekend, first Monday or whatever.
Okay.
I'm gonna sleep all through December. We're
First
done.
meeting in December, okay. And then, there have been some questions from a variety of people about the traffic beacon in Alsted. And it was a learning experience for me. This is, it was located on, a state road, so the New Hampshire DOT has to approve, replacement. And then the power and controller settings for the beacons are specifically engineered for the latitude and location of the beacon. And so because of that, once we obtain the approval from the New Hampshire DOT, and that's between the town and the New Hampshire DOT, they're just kind of on the sidelines waiting. Once that approval is obtained, then it can be ordered, and it's an 8 to 12 week backlog to get it done and to get it, so we can get it installed. We do have a couple of beacons in North Charlestown that are no longer being used. Bill was gonna do some research to see if those could be re-engineered to be used, in this location. So that's where we sit. The town submitted the paperwork, I think, to the DOT. It was last week. They're going to allow us to use one of their portable signs, in the interim. They said, don't worry, and normally I think they allow it for 4 days or something, and I said, please, for consideration of our students, can we waive that time? They said, don't worry about it. So it was supposed to be in place today, I believe, so I don't know if, was it out there?
Well, maybe not because of school, the kids not.
Oh, yeah,
school
school, yeah. they're not in
sessions,
school
maybe
today, so,
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Should be up.
So,
It was out the other day, it said something like school in session, drive carefully, but this is like at 1 o'clock, it was not during the school hours.
okay.
So if you could ask them to put the hours on there, because,
Okay.
you know. I'm ashamed to say, I don't know what, I drive by there at all times of the day, and I have no idea what the school hours are, and I don't really get pulled over by the police.
Yeah.
And given a ticket because I don't know what hours the
Right.
schools are.
Okay.
And then the other beacon on the other end, the Vilas end,
Mhm.
were we able to figure that one out?
So when we looked into it, it had, when the beacons were originally engineered and programmed, they were programmed to, change time zone, and that subsequently we have switched when we move from standard to daylight savings and back. And so, that needed to be adjusted, and were you able to adjust that? Yeah, so that has been adjusted, but it had changed early because we hadn't changed from daylight savings back to standard time yet, so.
So it is working?
So,
Oh, good.
The kudzu cut back.
Yeah.
It's a-
Oh, yeah, the radio for growth.
Yeah.
Shields, can't see.
I think that we talked to them about that as well. But so the fun thing is we own those beacons and we don't own the land that it sits on or anything else, so. Anyway,
The kudzu that's covering it up.
we received, I don't know if you've heard in the news recently that, with the school funding lawsuit, they said that they were gonna be returning, they told the state that they had to pay for the legal fees. And so we received 32,000 this last week, a return of legal fees. That's in excess of the 20,000 thresholds established by RSA 198-20B. So we're required to have a public hearing to accept those funds. So I would like to simply schedule that for December.
Maybe
8th.
December
Okay.
8th. Right for the board meeting.
And then as I mentioned earlier, the tax rates have been set for Ackworth, Charlestown and Langdon.
Well done.
So that's what I wanted to bring your attention to.
Yeah,
Because these
that's
guys
That's the
were-
story and she's sticking to it.
Yeah, well, oh, and I mean like everything on that page, not just the tax rates.
Yeah, no, that's excellent
I have a
information.
question.
Mhm.
So I appreciate the updates, but Misty, do we have a tracking tool? Or Lori, a tracking tool so things don't fall through the cracks in the future? So things are not missed or forgotten, sort of like what we talked about with the money back to Charlestown and things like
So,
this. Do we have like I know some towns they keep an open item on their agenda until it's closed. So for instance,
I
what do we
guess-
track so we don't miss things?
Well, you
Um,
usually move so.
so I guess I would ask what
Stays in.
you feel that I've been missing.
No, not you.
Oh, no,
Oh, okay.
no, this is a conversation
Oh,
that
okay.
we've been having,
Yes.
Okay,
Oh, yeah. Oh, I
in
get
terms
what
of
you're
an
saying.
item like having
Put it on the old business.
under the old business.
Okay.
We've talked about it a little bit.
So,
And until we decide to take those things off of it, I think a running list on the agenda would be
Okay.
good. We can do that.
Yeah, but I mean, that or a spreadsheet or something that things are not forgotten about. So I haven't seen that, like past minutes, there's things that we talk about, but then we don't hear about. Did it get resolved? Was there closure? You know, and so unless one of us brings it up, we don't hear anything about it. So anyway, just wondering if we can do that, you know, track things, so it'd be great. Keep it on the agenda.
Any other questions for Lori on these reports?
thank you.
No,
Rory.
thank you.
All right, fantastic. So let's go back down to new business part B. Did everybody have an opportunity to read the very long JFABD update?
Yes.
this language is coming from the New Hampshire School Board Association.
So this is a first read, so we can just talk about that. You don't need a motion of any sort.
I need a motion for first read.
To approve it.
Mhm.
And we're going to discuss it after, and I have a motion to approve it for the first reading, then we can discuss any change it might need.
What, let me just, a quick question, what were they changing? I saw where they pretty much.
Well, that'll be discussion, right? I so moved.
Second.
Not
Okay,
any question.
now you can ask. Thank you.
What were they changing? I'm trying to think, why it was entirely. Usually there's like one change or little, two changes and this.
When there's a significant change, I usually will just strike out old language and start over. Otherwise, it's just,
Oh, so you
it's
did,
very-
they didn't do
it's
it.
very cumbersome, correct?
Oh,
It's very
okay.
cumbersome to try to get every single little detail. If there's enough change, which in this case there was, we just strike out old language and go with the recommended
Okay,
new
all
language.
right. Yeah, because we didn't used to do that. Usually you get something that would highlight what had been changed. It was a paragraph or whatever else, but just,
Frequently, that's how it ends up, but this one was just so.
Overall, yeah.
okay, thank you.
So I do have one concern on it, and I think it's very specific to our region. So let's see. It is in the old one, but under A, number 2, where it talks specifically about living in motels, hotels, trailer parks, or campgrounds. I have a concern with the term trailer parks. Because if they're talking about camping grounds separate, I don't know what a trailer park is other than a mobile home park, and that is appropriate housing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Wonder why it's in there.
Then they can keep it in theirs. I would like to take it out of ours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being,
I agree.
being from Florida, trailer parks are, have campgrounds with travel trailers.
And they're tied down.
No,
No,
not with travel
okay.
trailers. Those-
Camping.
They're on wheels.
They're on wheels too, yeah. But I'm fine striking the trailer parks.
I agree. There's also, Some
Boy, that was
motels
quick.
and hotels provide long-term living.
But that's, it's considered, under McKinney-Vento, that's considered not inadequate housing.
Well,
Well,
they are very specific here, due to a lack of alternative adequate, like if I think somebody is choosing that as their living
Mhm.
quarters and they feel safe and whatnot, does that fit the definition of?
It's very iffy. Because, the same thing with being doubled up. Some families decide that they want, that's what they, they live with grandma.
Extended family.
And so, and yeah, the kid sleeps, doubles up in a bed with somebody else, and the family's fine with it, so it can be a spot, that's where your homeless liaison person really comes in and talks with the family. These are the things that it can be based on, but it doesn't mean that if somebody is, sleeping, is doubled up, and that's where they want to be, or living in a motel, and they have adequate, and it's an adequate place to live. Then it's like, well, who decides if it's adequate, but then, the big thing is, do the children have a place to sleep that is an adequate place to sleep? And do they have a place to be able to do their homework and do stuff, that isn't like crunched up on the floor someplace? So that really is where your liaison, your homeless liaison person comes in. Cause they have to meet with the family, they have to go through the whole form, they have to, it's hard,
I think it should stay, I think hotels should stay in our regulations.
yes.
Mobile home parks is different. Cause you can go throughout the whole country and mobile home parks are very different things
Yeah.
and wherever you are. But a hotel is a hotel.
I think the key difference is transitional housing. If it's short term, that's, if they're jumping from
Yeah.
place to place, but if they have accommodations that are adequate for their family, their children, then I think, long-term housing could be in a hotel or motel. But anyway, so I just think it could be a point of, considering someone is homeless when they have adequate housing. That's long-term, that may not be traditional lease or,
And if I can ask a question, so, and maybe this sounds silly, but having a policy like this, and the McKinney-Vento Act actually is giving us opportunities to help in more ways, so having it more open, helping more kids fit, helps give them more services, is that an accurate way of
That is the idea,
describing?
that's the idea behind McKinney-Vento, yes.
Giving equal services to everybody, yeah.
And in the process of determining if a family falls under the McKinney-Vento, that isn't done without the family's input. I have families in Goshen that say, I'm not homeless, and they absolutely won't fill out the McKinney-Vento stuff. And they're like, no, we're doubled up, yeah, but this is where we wanna be.
Yeah.
And so we say, okay.
the only other question I had was around. It's at the end of, it's bolded at the end of section A, right before B. Is that the only part about confidentiality? Is that what that's pertaining to, Misty?
Well, Can I,
Are you talking about information about homeless? I don't understand the question.
can I answer? I think
Okay.
do you mean, you can't, what this is basically saying is, you can't, like in Power School, you can't mark a kid as homeless.
It means
No, I
that.
know that.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Where
part of
does-
the educational records, part of FERPA, right? I mean, it's not considered directory information.
Right.
Correct.
Right, I'm just saying, where in this document do we cover that this type of information is confidential? So that
That's what that statement is saying.
Well, that's what I'm asking, is that
Yes,
it, that
yes.
says that, so like, teachers or staff, if they come across this in records, that they know that that's confidential information, it's not to be discussed. Right,
I think there are other policies that also address confidentiality in a more loose form than just homeless. So that may be an area to look at. Yeah, I would say.
So we know we have confidentiality.
Yes.
I guess what I'm asking is, can we make it more clear in this document?
Sure.
It's kind of vague to me.
Does it state in here, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does it state in here anywhere that the status of each family will be reassessed each year? Because it's easy to have a student who, this actually speaks more to students who are homeless and living in a different district and still coming down here to Fall Mountain. So because that gets to be expensive, and so because we maintain, and also if they're McKinney-Vento and they're going to school someplace else, then who is we maintain responsibility for those students until they're no longer McKinney-Vento. And so so stating in here someplace that it will be reassessed each year makes it so that if you have a student who has say moved to Claremont and they are homeless in Claremont, then we reassess, they're homeless there, so they stay ours. Even though they're going to school in Claremont, they're still ours. And so it means kind of having an out of district kid. And so that starts getting a little gooey. So if that continues on year after year after year, at some point you have to say, and they're staying in the same place, you have to say, are you really homeless, or is this where you've decided to be? So
what I would come back to say, I completely agree, but the policy is supposed to be quite broad. And then the procedures,
oh, okay, so under procedures.
under
Okay.
procedures is where you would
Where
find the
we'd find
information that you were talking
Okay.
about.
All right,
So, and that is within the paperwork and it's done every year, so.
okay.
And there are things in here that talks about, like, I just had it here, enrollment determination. Where they are.
Right
and
above
then
C sort of
about
addresses.
where, if they're determined that they have permanent housing, that they can finish in the district they're in throughout that year, and then it changes upon.
Yeah.
So those are.
Paragraph right above C says that. If they can stay for the year, but they have to then be reallocated or resent or something to the new district.
All right, any other questions, concerns, or thoughts on this policy? All right, so I'll make those changes. Do you have wording that you want to put in about confidentiality, or do we want to come up with that for the second
Yeah, we
read?
can bring it back for second read.
Okay,
I think it could just maybe even be a title above that bolded statement, just, regarding pertaining to confidentiality. The only other thing under B, and maybe this is just for my clarification, if a homeless student becomes permanently housed during the school year, the student shall no longer be considered homeless and may only continue enrollment in the district for the remainder of that school year. Correct.
So that's,
But what if their housing is in that district?
Well, then
they could just stay.
I mean,
I think it's, if you want it to be clear, we can just.
yeah, maybe clarify that. But anyway, I see the point of it. So, thank you, Misty.
All in favor of the changes we made? We need an actual motion to talk about those.
We'll just bring,
We'll discuss it first and second read.
we'll just bring the changes back for second read and you can determine if they fit the bill, and if they do, then.
All right, fantastic.
cool.
All right, next up, an unbudgeted request for a maintenance ban.
So I submitted justification along with some papers and documentation. As you know, we've deferred the purchase of a vehicle for a couple of years at least. And it's caught up to us. So we didn't have any immediate spares, if you will, because we tried to look internally to figure out what we could do. to keep, Barry in a van and so then we took the mail van and gave it to Barry and we're gonna, put the shelving in it and outfit it so he can have all of his materials in there, repair, parts and stuff. Because we had a small, like a normal, family van that we could use for the mail vehicle. And, we found that also had similar issues, with the rotting out, and so it needs to be replaced. So our immediate need this year is to get something for, our maintenance tech to be able to drive around in and have his repair his, parts with him, so he can, use his time efficiently. I sent, Bill on a shopping spree, if you will. Just to, to find information and what are our options. And what we've come down to is that we would like to lease a vehicle, over 5 years, buy it at the end of the 5-year term for $1. Quickly keep our vehicles for 7 years, or in this instance longer. It would help with the budgetary concerns. We pulled I think you might remember that I had talked about a $70,000 vehicle for maintenance in the budget. That out and replaced it with 2 lease items because we would want to recommend, in the budget discussions, we want to recommend that next year we be able to lease another vehicle to replace the second rotted out van.
Authorized.
Anyway, so we have made sure that the non-appropriation clause is included to the lease document. And we're seeking permission to move forward with that. And Bill has been charged with finding the money in his budget, so we would absorb that cost in
For
this facility budget for this first, for this first.
12,000.
Yeah.
First, excellent.
So Bill and Joey are here if you have any additional questions.
So I'll make a motion to move forward. If somebody wants a second, we can discuss.
I'll second.
All right. Does anybody have any questions?
Well, I hear the vehicle's rotting out. I mean, are they
It-
not?
It had
undercoated?
188,000 miles on it.
Right, but do they get undercoated?
They do it about every other year, but this one, I guess this one was missed. Because we have been undercoating them, yes.
It just seems like the 2017 vehicle shouldn't be rotting out if you're properly maintaining it and undercoating it.
Yeah, I drove in 2007.
I can say that commercial vehicles from those time periods were not really well done. My own experience in business is that it didn't matter what you did to them, they had some serious flaws with lasting. So this is not a surprise to me at all, no matter how well maintained they could have been.
So, yeah, I think we need to, these are not your Subaru or your whatever vehicle. These are commercial vehicles, and I can tell you, I used to drive commercial vehicles and they rot fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Especially if you're on the road with them.
What kind of a vehicle is it and what do you want to lease?
We're looking at the Dodge Pro Max,
Okay,
Pro something.
okay, what's the current vehicle?
The current vehicles is either a Chevrolet, one was a Chevrolet and one was a GMC cargo van.
Okay, like a panel van, sort of, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and these are the new style Pro, I don't know, Pro Max or Pro,
Are they the smaller ones?
pardon me?
Are they smaller?
No,
Not one,
no,
okay.
they're the big ones. We need the 3/4 ton vehicle with the weight that we carry around and.
Yeah, I remember.
I have another question. I saw there was additional costs, like almost $7,000 for putting shelving in. Is that on top of the lease amount?
No, that's all inclusive,
So the 12,000.
$12,805.
Who's that?
It's all inclusive. It's with the rack and everything.
And is this a brand new vehicle? For 54,000, I think it comes out to.
Jamie had a question.
Oh, I didn't even realize you're back in, Jamie. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I've been here listening.
I'm just curious why, when we have such large surpluses every year, that we would be leasing something and paying extra costs.
We
Like-
don't have. So we don't have the funds right now. I can't allocate funds to purchase a $50,000 or $60,000 vehicle right now with, the additional, special education and like out of tuition, services that we, have this year. We started the year, at kind of at a pause, a hard pause on spending. Because we needed to see how some things were fleshing out. And we're still, gonna be watching the budget very carefully during the course of the year. So, we can certainly look at including, the full cost of a vehicle at the end of the year for, instead of buying one next year, but right now, we need a vehicle now, and we felt that this was the best way to go right now.
Okay, one follow-up question. Do you have the ability, Lori, to pay it off early without a penalty, or?
I would have to look at that.
Okay.
I'm fairly
Just-
certain that I read that in the contract that we could pay it off.
Well,
That
I
there
believe
is,
it is, and
yeah, that there was no penalty for early pay. Because as soon as I saw 8.845%
Well,
interest,
yeah.
I was like,
Well, I mean, of course, if we have money at the end of the year, we would wanna pay it off.
sometimes they write in there that you
Yeah.
can't pay them
Yeah.
off and then you still have to pay the interest or
Yeah.
whatnot, but it looked
But
like
no,
this
but
one
we
had
can,
no
yeah.
penalty for that. If we should happen to be fortunate that there's no more things that pop up that we have to pay for over the course of the year that weren't expected.
I think that's an important point, though. I do.
Yeah, so I'll double check that, please.
What's that?
Pouring out.
Not snowing yet. Any other questions or concerns, thoughts on this before we take a vote?
No, I mean, I understand we're doing a lease because there's no money there, but I guess my only other thought was, did we look at 2-year-old vehicles or, used vehicles?
Bill, do you wanna speak to that?
I did look at one, I found one, and it was $37,000 with no racks. Then by the time you get the racks in there, you're paying $45,000 for a used vehicle. That you have no idea what it's gone through. And then, for another 11,000, you could get a brand new one. And you own it up to 5 years. And so you won't have to pay for anything we usually keep them about 7 to 8 years.
I think if we have $1 million surplus again next year, that we could probably pay it off and call
Let's
it a
hope.
day.
Buy 3 of them.
I agree with you.
Then I'd just like to put in a plug that let's really make an effort to undercoat every year. It's important. It's about our only line of defense against assault we're absolutely stuck with, so. So I understand that, so,
I didn't know you
since
had
we
to
do
do
have
it every
Jamie,
year.
what's that?
I didn't know you had to do it every year.
There
I just did my truck and thought, well, that's good. I'm good to go.
No.
Now you're telling me I have to do it every year.
I
Should.
bought it 2018 and they said it was permanent.
There is a special ceramic coating.
There's a ceramic, yeah, there's a ceramic coating, but then I know people with a ceramic coating that still get it undercoated every year, so.
So all that being said, we have Jamie online, so we are going to move to a roll call, so Jamie, how do you vote on the purchase or the lease?
Gas.
Shelley,
Yes.
Chaz,
Yes.
Karen, yes.
Kevin, yes.
Sarah, yes.
perfect, the motion passes. Thank you for bringing all that great information, it made
Yeah,
it
thank
easy.
you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Siri.
Wow. Thanks, making everybody happy.
Siri's very happy.
Very enthusiastic.
Budgeted item I'll ask for.
Okay.
Oh, you are.
Okay.
You're smooth, Bill. You are smooth.
Thank you very much.
All right,
That will be the last unbudgeted item you're gonna get, Bill.
no surprises then ever. The approval of metal detector wands here at the high school. everybody, there was some great information put in our packet, we all had an opportunity. Sarah, do you want to speak to that?
I can. Are there questions, specific questions? Did you get the sheet, the information sheet I sent?
There was a lot of information. I appreciated the legal opinion.
What was that? This-
I did talk to the legal team before even having to, they're like, yeah, it's part of it can be part of the regular search. Obviously with suspicion of, they can't just be like, hey, you kid, I'm gonna search you now. There has to be a good reason for it.
I have to say, I also appreciated when I first read it, I was like, what are we gonna be metal detecting everybody on the way in the doors? And so I really did appreciate that it was a very targeted thing.
Yes.
Based on some things that are happening. So.
You can't just chase down random students.
No,
Well, and you
can't do
can't
that,
stand
that's
there
illegal.
and have them walk by you either.
Right, right.
It's very intentional, so.
I'll tell you that the, the vape detectors are great and they help us to find more than we have than in the past. We'd have to be like, yeah, gotcha, when we run in there, right? But now we have the vape detectors go off and I can say, okay, everybody to my office, we're gonna search you one at a time. So the kids know this and they put these things in places where I cannot legally go and do not want to. But with
You wouldn't want a
a
vape
metal
pen, would you?
detecting wand, I could be like, why is your shoe beeping? Those are not steel-toed boots. Why is your shoe beeping? What's in your shoe? Okay, all right. And if, then I have reason, even more reason to say, hey, parent, could you come up here and perhaps check your child for me? I do have reason to believe there's something on them and they're not being, honest with me. So it just, will help, I think. I mean, it's something that I've read about other districts doing to some effect. I think it would be helpful. It's another way for kids to see that we're serious.
I think that's an important point, not only as a deterrent to it, but for the kids who are being affected and don't want to use bathrooms or things like
Yeah.
that because of the issue that's going on. So I appreciate it on both levels.
I
Are there
do have
questions?
some questions.
Sure.
I had the opportunity to actually have a casual conversation with someone who attends high school here and he actually brought that up. That, you know, the vaping being an ongoing
Mhm.
issue or concern. But one of the things in the document, it does talk about, it's under recommended procedures. Number 2, conduct the search to staff members present. I thought that was great. What I am concerned about is the, if possible, gender to gender.
Well, it is mostly possible since I do have a male assistant principal. However, if he's out, I'm not going to not conduct a search.
Right, but is there someone else?
Their administrators are the only ones who can legally conduct the searches.
What about the state trooper who's
No,
present?
He may not,
They don't.
not without parents being there.
I would just be concerned about.
So certainly I could have someone else in the room
Right.
watching, but they
Yeah.
cannot be the one to conduct the search. So if there is someone who the child is, if they're really uncomfortable, if they're, and when I conduct a search, I am not touching the child in any way whatsoever. I'm saying, please turn out your pockets. You know, did you get anything in your socks? Like, you know, it's, you know, take your coat off. Is there anything in your pockets? That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
The metal detector would allow me to just go around and see if anything, is a little bit off. Beeps. Yes.
I would think that as it says in here, 2 staff members present. So if you're the one doing the search, that's fine, but for your liability,
Yes.
you're gonna want somebody else there, because yes, you're doing the search the way you're supposed to. But if you don't have anybody else there, another adult
Yeah.
there, another staff member there, the kid can say anything happened.
They absolutely can.
So-
And I usually have, there's usually another person, at least, you know, Brad is sitting, our offices connect.
Mhm.
So Brad's either sitting at his desk or I have, my doors open when I do searches. I don't close the door. I don't like do anything like that. And so I feel comfortable with how it's done, but I certainly, yes, another person.
I would try to make sure that you always have somebody else there. And somebody that's the same gender as the student.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
it's just gonna cover all of us.
It also talks about, minimally intrusive searches, including patting down our clothing. That's why I.
Once it's
brought
off the
that.
child. Once it's off the child, and
I think that should be clarified.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Not-
not.
There's no patting down of any.
Okay, that's what concerned me about the,
Let me
if
find-
possible.
Where does it say that?
Under specific scenario guidance.
Okay.
Page 2.
Patting down, I'll change it right now. I usually have the students do that themselves, turn out the pockets of their, like, take that out, turn out the pockets themselves.
Oh, and then my other question is, what are the consequences? If they're found with,
So that's right in our student handbook, it's the first time they're found, so if they're found with a vape or any kind of, drug or thing on them, the first thing is that it's a safe schools violation, and that requires me to send, paperwork to the central office, to the superintendent, as well as to the police. I am required by law to report any illegal activity to the police under these safe schools laws. The next thing is we look, is this the first time this child has gotten in trouble for this? Okay. Then it's a 3-day suspension and the police, so next time it's a 5-day suspension. The next time it's a 10-day suspension. By the third time, the police usually do get involved. The first 2 times, they're told about it, but they don't usually go after it. Even if it's cannabis vape, they usually don't. Our juvenile system is
Overwhelmed.
yes, to say the least. But it gives us a good amount of time to do education, to talk with parents, to try and turn them in the right direction before police get involved heavily, which is good, which is what I like. You know, we want to try and help the kids learn that this is not good for them and these are not, you know, that you're breaking the law. I know it, you think that this is no big deal, but you are breaking the law on many different levels here. So it would give us a chance to maybe get these kids off this crap.
so one more question.
Yeah.
When the alarms in the bathrooms go off, does that go to your office location or on your
Right to my
phone?
phone. Yeah,
Oh,
So you have to
that's
be,
tricky.
but you have to be in the vicinity to then see who comes out of the
yep,
restroom?
we have cameras that
Okay.
have, that see every
That's what I was
bathroom
wondering.
entrance.
Okay,
So if I'm right there, easy, I can walk right over there.
yeah,
Sometimes I can still catch it when I see the lights still going, you know, but if it's boys' room, I'm knocking on the door, they're putting things away, they're, you know, get out, come on out. But yes, we do use the cameras to see who was in the bathroom because we get a timestamp when the vape detector goes off.
well, good. That's great. Are the bathrooms your most vulnerable?
That's where everything, that's the ultimate spot. And
Particular.
I've not had anyone in the open vape at all. That would be some, and I haven't caught anyone, so,
Outside or something, yeah.
yeah, we haven't caught anybody, that would
Wouldn't
be
a
very.
sneak, be a good sneak.
So do we own these already, or are you
No,
looking?
I'm
for-
looking for permission to buy. That I'm like just permission from you guys, and then I would go ahead and purchase them. Before I would use them, I would put, I would send information out to parents. And kind of update our handbook a little bit about that this could be part of the process. Answer any questions and then say, we'll start using it this day. I wouldn't wanna.
Make a motion to move forward with this process of, there's gonna be a process to buying the wands. But I specifically want that to be in the motion, the process of buying the wands begin. Which would include not only purchase, but also informing the parents. All the other pieces and updating policies, et cetera.
Yes.
Second. And I would like to, I appreciate the high school putting in the vape detectors. If you talk to students, some students prior to the vape detectors vaping, I think, was a massively huge issue, that's, they said it was a huge issue. I think the vape detectors have made maybe a slight dent in it. And I do think the wands is the next step to possibly being able to curb some of this. I don't think this is going to, I don't think we're ever gonna get to the point where it's not, where we're not gonna have it at all in our schools, unfortunately, at least not within the next maybe like 5 years. But I do appreciate the high school addressing it, and I appreciate everybody going to the next level of trying to deter this, so.
And the deterrent is worth it as far as I'm concerned, is that they see me and they know that I take it seriously and that, and you know, whether you get caught this time or not, you will get caught. And, you know, deterring that is important. All high schools across the country are dealing with the same thing, trying to find ways to educate the kids, get them to not do this type of thing, you know. We're all trying, and we're
We've
sharing.
been dealing with smoking in the boys' room for.
Right.
There's a song about that.
Is that right? Yeah.
This is majorly different. This is really majorly different. And I mean, at one point, yeah, kids were smoking in the bathroom and then their parents wrote a letter and let them smoke out by the trash can. This is on a whole new level.
Yeah, and we don't know the harmful effects of just the vapes yet, just like when people started smoking
Right.
cigarettes, they didn't know how harmful those would be. We know that these are harmful, they're not good, and cannabis is certainly not good for young minds, not good for all minds, but young minds especially. And it's very easy to come by now, and that's one of the biggest differences, is that they can purchase these things online with very little, there's no oversight. They can get it anywhere, and we're very close to, we're right in the middle of 2 states where it's legal. And so we're struggling to keep it out.
Yeah, thank you for your efforts.
Mm.
Keep it on.
So, do you have a budget for this? Is it in your budget? Have you been able to
It's
find
not
it?
budget, but I think I have, as far as like, it's not equipment, it would be supplies, because it's not that, see, hey, I'm learning. It's not that expensive, they're about $200 a wand. For the ones that they use, TSA uses. the good
Oh, wow.
ones. So, I saw one on sale for $209.
And how many do you need?
Just 2, one for me,
Okay.
one for Brad.
Are they rechargeable? Like, is this something
Yes.
that
Yeah.
maybe we need?
Do you wanna get more?
Well, I just, at $200, like, we should have one ready to go somewhere else.
I feel like I should buy a list of one for Christmas. I think she wants one.
I'll come stand here. with you.
Very
I'll be your
excited about
second.
getting more than just
I
2.
think we could kind of call this as a pilot, see if it does any good. And, if it becomes, we're just hiding it in the tiles of the bathroom, then I'm just going up there every day and taking stuff and throwing it away and making life harder for them that way.
Well, this is recorded, now they all know where to put.
No, they already do that. Now they
If they're
know that I
watching more
know
meetings,
that.
I'd be thrilled.
I can tell you the spots where they put stuff. It's probably still the same as when I was
It is
working.
absolutely the same, yes, I think it's the same spots.
We can just glue the tiles.
We
Where's
tried that.
Bill? Where'd Bill go? Maybe we should have approved glue.
Okay, so the
We'll
motion
keep
is on the
fighting
table.
The fight, we're gonna keep trying to find, they're gonna find new ways and we're gonna have to keep following, it's a race.
Yeah.
We're just got, and we're always a little bit behind.
It's no
Well,
different than the phone. Well, it's a little different, but it's, the phone's the same way, yeah.
You're good with the motion?
Well, yeah, they're doing a good job, I have to say, the kids are doing a really good job, especially in class. Are they sneaking them sometimes? Oh, we better believe it. But when we find them and we see them, they give it up without any problem. So that has been the biggest difference, is like they're like, okay, yeah, you caught me. So they're doing a good job.
Good to know. All right, so the motion is on the table. Any final questions, concerns about metal detectors? Jamie, do you have any questions? I haven't heard from you.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, then the motion is on the table. How do you vote, Jamie?
Teague, yes.
Shelley?
Yes.
Chaz?
Aaron, yes.
Seven yes.
Sarah, yes.
All right, the motion passes. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I will keep you all updated.
All right, I think the final note before we move on to a non-public session is that we have received a donation. It's and thank you out to who's donated. It's exciting that people are involved with the community for sure. So thank you. And so now may I have a motion to go into non-public?
So moved.
Second.
Jamie?
Teague, yes.
Chaz?
Yes.
Aaron, yes.
Seven yes.
Sarah, yes.
All right, thank you so much. All right, we're back in public.
Make a motion to revise the position from assistant to the superintendent to the director of communications and administrative services.
Do I have a second?
Second. Yeah.
Any discussion?
3 seconds.
No, I just want to acknowledge in public, that the work that's done by Misty is in this job description, but it is so much more than that, and I don't think she could write it all down, so much appreciated.
Yes.
So, Jamie, how do you vote on the motion?
Teague votes yes.
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 Aaron, yes.
Seven yes.
Sarah, yes.
All right, the motion passes. Thank you. And did we have a
Make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
Second.
any question?
Whoever you want.
Jamie?
Teague votes yes.
Yes.
Aaron, yes.
Seven yes.
Sarah, yes.
Thank you so much. Motion passes.
Adjourned.
Anything else on the on the table? So good. Do I have a second? On your turn. Jamie?
Teague votes yes.
Yes.
Aaron, yes.
Seven yes.
Sarah, yes.
We are adjourned. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.